Alright, everybody. While we wait for Miss Schreier to finish talking with Miss Bacon outside, I'm going to tell you all what we're going to be doing later after lunch when we get back. Last week I kind of told y'all that we would be completing Chapter 3 in your science books on force, motion, and energy, and we talked a little bit about that. Today we're going to look at the first lesson in your book, which covers motion. We're also going to look at the metric system and practice converting. Then we'll do a little lab as well. Okay. So I'm going to go into a little detail about it so you kind of know what you're looking for. I promise this is going to be super fun, super easy. You won't even know that you're learning. Alright. So first, we'll discuss what you already know about motion and what you want to know about motion, and we'll complete like the KWL chart on the board that we have done previously in other lessons. And then after we do that, we'll watch a short video on motion, and then we'll kind of go into the lesson. Once the video's done, I'll let you get your books. We'll call you by table, and you can sit back down with your book so we can kind of go through. I'll have a PowerPoint of the lesson in the book as well. That way, if you have problems or anything like that, we can kind of do a little bit. You can see it bigger if need be. And that way we can also, as we work it, we can work it out all together instead of, oh, well, this is what it says. You write in yours and I'll write in mine. We'll have it on the smart board so we can all, work together to solve the problems and learn the vocabulary and all that good stuff. Alright. So after we start going through the first lesson, as we go, I'm going to have a piece of paper as well as utensils and stuff like that. We're going to create a formula and vocabulary sheet so y'all can learn the formulas that y'all are going to be using this week and the vocabulary from lesson 1 that's going to be on the post test. The test you took last week, that y'all were like, oh, I'm so worried, and I was like, nah, don't worry about it. Sorry, I'm rambling. Miss Beck, please sit back down. Thank you. So, as I was saying, after we do your formula sheet and the vocabulary sheet will be on the back side of that formula sheet, we'll look at some different graphs that have to deal with finding the average speed using the formula we're going to learn about, and plot them on graphs. Okay, and then once we all go through the lesson together, we will do some practices. We can work individual or we can work in teams. Kind of sees how well y'all do when we go through the lesson itself. If y'all are struggling a little bit, I may have y'all work in pairs. If you do a little better, I may, or be by yourself, or we may all do it together depending on how well we're understanding as we go through the lesson. So you'll model some problems. We'll work a few on the board to start out, no matter which way we complete it. And then you'll turn those worksheets into me afterwards so I can kind of see how y'all are doing, so I know what to clarify for y'all and what I need to adjust and maybe tell y'all in a different way. Put your pencil down. Stop playing with it. Thank you. Alright, and then after we practice, I'm going to have a little lab. We're going to have like a mini lab. Okay? You're going to work in pairs of 2 or 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so it looks like we have 21 people here today. So we'll have a lot of groups of 2 and one group of 3. Okay? And then what you're going to do is when you get back from lunch, I'm already going to have the tape placed on the floor. And then we're going to break into groups. And we'll kind of move in... We'll move in stations, I think, is going to work the best. That way we don't have a bunch of different lengths of tape grouped all together. It's easier. Actually, no. We'll have one longer one. I'm starting to confuse you. Sorry. Let me do this over. Okay, so, for example, we'll have a piece of tape on the floor. Okay. We'll say it's 1 foot long. Alright. And you'll get a ball and some tape. You'll need the worksheet I'll give out to you, a timer, and your pencil. Alright. You'll take turns rolling the ball a certain distance. You know, recording how long it takes the ball to get to that distance. So if I decided, okay, only 3 inches. So one of you will have the stopwatch, and as the other person lets go of the ball, they'll hit the button. And then you'll hit the button again when it reaches the mark on the piece of tape for 3 inches. Now, the measurements you'll use today are in the metric system, not the... So it'll be like meter and centimeters and stuff like that. And that'll be some of this. We'll go over those in the PowerPoint as well. And then you'll each do the experiment. Okay, so you'll roll the ball. And then one person will roll it each of the distances required on the worksheet. And then the other person will do it. And then after y'all are done, you know, we'll go back to our seats and we'll talk about the different times and why we think they're different. And then kind of do an overview of what all we talked about. If we have time, there is a like a little online quiz just to kind of also help me see how y'all are understanding the material I'm teaching you, so I can be a better teacher. You know, I'm learning just like you are. If we do not have a chance to do the online quiz in class, then I'll see if Ms. Shire will let me have y'all do it at home. Okay. And then I will also give you a worksheet converting in the metric system, as well as finding the average speed with the formula you'll learn today, and doing some plotting some of the points on a graph. It's going to be super easy. We're going to have lots of fun, I promise you. And each day you'll love it, I promise. It looks like Miss Bacon and Miss Shire are done. So let's sit up and pay attention, and looks like it's about time to go to lunch.